Hello, 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 and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jamila, and I am a master manifester, and I know you are because you're watching this kind of content, right? So a lot of us, we manifest, but we're not actually controlling what's manifesting in our lives. So that's what I like to discuss. The name of this channel is Manifesting Magic with Dr. J. And just like you, I am always looking to create some kind of magic in my life, right? Because that's exciting, right? It's fun. Magic is fun, and I forgot how fun magic was. But magic is fun. Today, what I'm talking about is I got my trusty notebook because I can't remember this all off the top of my head, even though I feel it. Ways to know that you are on the precipice of a breakthrough. The precipice. So everybody knows the precipice is like if you stand at the Grand Canyon, you're at the edge, you're on the precipice of the Grand Canyon. You're on the precipice of a breakthrough. Biggest reasons why I know. I've covered this topic before, but every time I live a little bit more and gain a little bit more wisdom, I always enjoy revisiting it because it's the feel-good topic. It's the topic that everybody wants to know about because, man, I've been doing this work. Where are the results, right? Kind of, not in a negative way, but I mean, just in general. Am I doing this the right way? Am I on that journey? Am I on the right road at least? Because a lot of times we just don't know, right? So number one way to know that you are on the precipice of a breakthrough is when you've done all you can at the level you're on. That's a hard one because the levels in which where we are operating is generally just the one that we become good at. For whatever reason, whatever rhyme or reason, for whatever was happening in our lives, we got really good at whatever we were doing on that level. But when you notice that what you're doing at a specific level is not working for you anymore, or it's just not enough, that's when you know you're on the precipice of a breakthrough because where you are is no longer serving you. And you can no longer serve where you are. Two different things. Both meaning you're on the precipice, right? Something along the lines of this, what it might feel like is when, okay, I used to teach classes and I would teach like 3 or 4 classes of the same class the whole entire day. And it was probably like intro to computing because I used to teach computer classes before I became a sociologist. And I would sit in the front of the classroom and learn new subjects the night before. I'm like, oh my God, I got to learn that. Oh, I got to learn about the operating system. Whatever was in the books, I was like, I can teach it. And I would make it make sense before I went to the class. And I was so hungry that I didn't turn anything down. I've taught like 15 different computer science classes that I am not an expert in. And I walked up in those classrooms confidently and proudly and professed my information, and students always walked away with something. I think the fact that I wasn't always an expert made it better because I understood where they were. But I would teach those classes and I would teach one and it would go okay. I would teach the second one and it would be like, yeah, oh, I can use that. And the third one, perfect. Guess what? I didn't need to lecture anymore. And that is similar to when you know you're on the precipice of a breakthrough. Everything you've done on the level where you are is no longer serving you or working for you. So there's something else that needs to happen and you are prepped and ready for it. Number 2 is you realize that you can't be a people pleaser and a world changer at the same time. And this one hits a little bit hard because well, people are everything for most people, right? People are everything for all of us, right? Because even though I'm not like, oh, I'm so into all the people and everywhere I go, I have people that are important to me, right? So realizing that being used or being lifted to complete a certain task or your talents have catapulted you to be in charge of a certain environment or to bring the next level of evolution in whatever area that you're talented in. If that assignment is on you in some sort of way, the idea that you have to focus on that and you can't focus on what it might do to some people around you is going to be way more important. I think people don't realize that the biggest thing that holds them back from accomplishing or achieving or manifesting the things that they choose It's generally the environments they're staying in. I was listening to Les Brown the other day, who's like 75 years old, and I've been listening to him for like 20 years. And I always love his speeches. You know, you got to be hungry. That's what he always says, right? And to be hungry at 75 still is very cool to see. And I'm listening to him speak, and the interviewer kept going on about other subjects, right? Les Brown kept bringing it back to the people you are connected to. And I was thinking to myself, he's not going to let that topic fall off, because he understands how important it is to be in the vicinity of people who are feeding where you need to go next. Because people that are feeding where you are, that's the comfort zone, right? You need to be around people that are pulling you into the new direction, that are feeding you into the level of where you're going to next. And that energy is not always the most positive thing. And that's what people don't understand. So when you come in contact with those types of people, or you come in contact with those environments that challenge you in that way, it generally is showing you that your mission is bigger than the people that you have decided you are connected to forever. So you have to decide sometimes. I was listening to someone else say, do you want to make friends, or do you want to change the world? Do you want to, sit on the couch and watch movies 7:00 every Wednesday night, and let that be your mission? Or are you trying to be up Wednesday nights until 3:00 in the morning, hammering through what you know your mission is here in this realm, right? So number 2 is you realize that you can't be a people pleaser and a world changer at the same time. And the only people that you will be able to connect with are people that understand that. Are people that are not reactors, are people who are able to allow other people to be who they are without that affecting them so deeply. And you'll continue to have to go down this journey, because that's just what it is, right? Number 3 is you've had a moment in your life where you weren't moving, and you want to say, God, the creator, the universe, put something in your line of view to move you. Because it's so easy. Okay, so I had a, okay, if we're going to talk about rock bottoms, there's been several of those in my life. I wouldn't even want to begin with the stories, right? I always say you cannot judge anybody in what they've been through and what they bring to the table by looking at them without hearing their stories, because you would be shocked, the stories that people have. I would have stories that shocked you that you wouldn't even believe belong to me. And so this is the thing. I was going through this moment of rock bottom, I guess in 2019, right? And so I had lost all hope for creating something really specific that I wanted to see in my life, right? Really specific successes, really specific, I guess if you want to call them anointings that I felt like I had on my life that I was supposed to produce in this lifetime. And the fact that it wasn't happening got to be really heavy and depressing. So the easiest way for me to maneuver through those feelings was to just shut down and check out. So I did. I shut down and checked out. I went and got myself a regular job. And, I was working at the university, and I did that, for about 6 months, and it was all fine and dandy. It was a very much so a comfort zone. And then I can honestly say that is around the time that I met my partner, my current one, the man I'm with now. And that is a prime example to me of this statement. When you don't move, God sends something to move you. Because it was clear that I have an endless amount of potential. It was always clear to me that I knew that I could accomplish things, anything, as long as I put my mind to it. I mean, I am like a steamroller. If I get a hold of something and it's something that I want to do, then I'm with it. I'm just stuck with it. I'm married to it. And that's just how I've always been. But I had lost a lot of that. And so to have someone come around who had this new energy, and it was fresh energy and fresh excitement and a lot of hope and faith and excitement for the future and planning and creating things. At first, it disturbed me because I had lost my hope. And then after I let it disturb me, I let it anger me. I went through all the phases because I was also grieving, leaving that behind, because it felt good. It felt good to give up or to take a break. It felt good not to be focused on what is it I'm supposed to be bringing to the table. It felt really good. So it wasn't a permanent space though. And in life, when you get into those places where you're trying to sit in a permanent place, when there's something else that you're supposed to be doing, and the universe knows what you have inside of you, it can see more of you than what you can see of yourself. That's when you know you're on the precipice of a breakthrough. When you realize that, you're on the precipice. Number 4 is you feel damn good for no good reason. What I mean is you feel good, meaning that you may have been operating at a low level of energy because of the disappointments or maybe the setbacks or whatever it is that you're dealing with in your life. You may have been, feeling hopeless. So the meter goes from like 1 to 10. And you may have been somewhere around a 3. Like I can function. I'm 3 or 4. I can function. Contentment would be about a 5 or 6 for me. That's my scale. I can function. But the thing about it is, you know that you have not been feeling that easy, hopeful, light spirit that you're capable of because you've been there before. So when you start to feel better, you know you're on the precipice of a breakthrough because that's your number one feeling. If that feeling is natural, it's not added to you by some type of substance. It's not because somebody told you were beautiful. It's not because somebody said you were smart. It's not because of any of those things. When you generally just say, hey, I am not the sum of my accomplishments. I am not the sum of my goals. I am not the sum of whatever's in my bank account. I am not the vehicle I drive. I am not the size of clothing that I wear. When you decide those things are not who you are, you can find value in who you are, who you came to this earth as. And I think that's why I appreciate vagabonds so much. Someone told me the other day that my spirit animal was a vagabond because it teaches me compassion. It teaches me that even when I see these people who are summer drifters, homeless people on the street, whatever they are, that people are still people. Those people have stories. They had hopes and dreams. They have feelings. They may still have hopes and dreams. They are human. The compassion that I derive from seeing the humanness in those people, I've learned to apply it to myself. So when you feel good for no good reason and you know that it is above the baseline, that you know that, man, I feel like I am coming out of this funk. I'm coming out. You know that you're on the precipice of a breakthrough. And a number 5 thing is, I notice in my own life is that small things begin to come together. So a lot of times we're looking for the big thing. We're looking for the stuff that's going to make us say, dang, I knew it, right? I knew I was on the right track. I knew that door was going to open. We're looking for these things to show up in our space. But the bottom line is that a lot of times the smaller things start to work out first before the big thing works out. And if you can spend your time focused on those smaller synchronicities, those smaller little happenstance meetings, the smaller connections that you're creating, and feel good about those, the bigger ones have no choice but to continue to follow the lead, right? It's just like the small ones are coming through to make sure the door is open. And then the small ones are going to holler back to the bigger manifestations and say, hey, she got some space. You want to come through? And that's what it's waiting for. So the process of clearing all the garbage out and getting yourself prepared for the breakthrough, it's not useless. It's all for the things. So if you think about the small things coming together, it could be just a day of freedom. I remember feeling so exhausted with the projects and feeling like these projects keep coming one after another. And I was just like, oh my God, tomorrow again. I sit down in a chair and my stomach starts to get a little anxious because I'm like, wait, am I forgetting a meeting, a deadline, a conversation, a note I didn't take or something? The details seem to be very important right now in my life. And I'm not consistently a detail-oriented person. I'm detail-oriented when not being detail-oriented hurts. And it causes me some kind of pain in my outcomes. But if I can get away without being super detail oriented, I am super happy about that. So I sit there and I'm thinking like, this is a lot. This is a lot every single day. And then I go sit at the computer and I realized that my schedule was clear. One meeting that I had was canceled, and the project that I was thinking that the due date was looming over my head for, it wasn't due until the next day at 5:00. So what I mean by small things coming together is just like, man, I needed that day so much. And that day just opened up for me like nobody's business. I didn't even try. I wasn't needed by anyone. I didn't have to answer to anyone. I didn't have to make anything happen for anyone. I could just be. And it's amazing, right? Small things come together like, you lose something and then it shows up in a new place. Or, oh, this is a good one. I'm in the process of getting audiobooks created for my current books that I have on Amazon. And the perfect person to read your book is available and shows their face to you. I mean, and you have a great connection and they know exactly what you're looking for. They audition and it's amazing. So while there's no giant, changes in the outcomes that's happening today, I know that I'm on a precipice of a breakthrough because those small things are happening and they're all a piece of the bigger puzzle, right? Puzzles. I love puzzles. Anyway, so those are my 5 things. How you know you're on the precipice of a breakthrough. Let's go through them again. Why not, right? Because, well, this is my channel and I can go through them again if I want, right? When you've done all you can at the level that you're on and you know you have, when you realize that you can't be a people pleaser and a world changer at the same time, and when you realize that when you don't move, that God sends something to move you or that's happened to you, right? And number 4 is you start to feel damn good for no good reason, meaning the fog is lifting, right? And then number 5, small things, small synchronicities start to work out. And like I say, those small manifestations just hollering back at the big manifestations going, hey, she has space, come on through. So just know that when those small doors start opening, the big ones are right behind it. That's the way it goes, right? Anyway, that is what I have today. Knowing that you're on the precipice of a breakthrough, knowing what it looks like and enjoying every minute of it as much as you can. I hope you all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. And until next time, like, subscribe, share. And that's it.